Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front row of sports entertainment. He's Brad Gilmore, along with Matt Topolsky for The Row. And tonight, the road to Summer of Champions 4 gets started. And next week on the program, Brad Gilmore, Booker T will be right here live and in person for a contract signing between Aiden Cristiano and Gino. And rumor has it there is a special stipulation Booker T has in mind.
Hey, you know, we've all been speculating on what that stipulation could really be. You know, with Booker T, it's going to be, well, it's going to be good. But, you know, who knows what Booker T's got up his sleeve. But we're going to find out very, very soon.
Absolutely. We will find out next week. And we talk about the road to Summer of Champions 4. Can't think of a better way to get it kicked off than with our main event tonight. Brian Keith has been medically cleared. He is back in action, and he is facing Rob Barnes in a street fight.
We know Brian Keith definitely has an axe to grind against Rob Barnes. We saw Rob Barnes attack him backstage, put him out of action for a number of weeks. Now there are no rules. It's a street fight. It's going to be down and dirty here tonight in our main event.
Absolutely. All that and so much more as we get the road to Summer of Champions started right now on The Reality of Wrestling. Oh my goodness! A Davidson driver! And you know what comes next, Brad?
455!
The Reality of Wrestling, the flagship of Texas wrestling.
You just can't see it anywhere else.
This 15 feet in the air! Brian takes him up top! Oh, look at this! Oh my goodness!
Will testify.
Oh, connect flush!
Look at you, dig that.
Introducing first, from Jacksonville, Florida, weighing 190 pounds, this is Action Jackson Jonathan Holt.
Well, one of the most unique competitors that we've seen in the reality of wrestling, I think that goes without saying, and certainly the first professional wrestler I've ever seen that wears a camelback while wrestling, Brad Gilmore.
A camelback full of haterade. I mean, he's even dressed like what I would think a bottle of haterade would look like. If you go into Buc-ee's and you're looking for haterade, looks like that.
Well, he is Action Jackson Jonathan Holt. And he was impressive in his debut, and he's back here at the Row for apparently more haterade.
His opponent from Crosby, Texas, weighing 245 pounds, Taylor Ransom.
Taylor Ransom is coming off of a loss a few weeks ago to Tyree Taylor. He's already in a bad mood to begin with. That's his normal homeostasis, if you will. So I'm quite certain he's seething even more than usual tonight. And the last person in the world I'd want to be is Jonathan Holt.
Well, typically the last person in the world that I'd want to be is you. But I think runner-up would be Jonathan Holt.
Here I connect, we'll all stand up. And the terror of every sip and every suck.
Well, here we go. Action Jackson, Jonathan Holt, and Taylor Ransom get the action. Kicked off this week. And the road to Summer of Champions has officially begun. We are just 4 weeks away from the biggest event in reality of wrestling history, the 4th installment of Summer of Champions. Oh!
Action Jackson. He sipped a lot of haterade because he's ready to go. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Taylor Ransom, a crafty veteran here in reality of wrestling. I mean, this guy has seen all the top competition here in the Row. His very first match was against Booker T here in reality of wrestling. So he's definitely not someone to be playing around with. Oh, wow.
A shot to the jaw right there, a right hook from Taylor Ransom. And that mouthpiece almost flew across the World Gym Arena. I mean, for all the flashiness and entertainment quality that Jonathan Holt brings to the table, he has to remember he's in there with Taylor Ransom.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, springboard moonsault from Action Jackson. Kick out at 2.
Very impressive there, and right you are, Matt Topolsky. If he didn't have that mouthpiece in, he might have seen a few tooth fly across the reality wrestling nation. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness! A A thunderous choke slam and a kick out at 2, but Taylor Ransom not wasting any time at all getting after Jonathan Holt.
Well, with Summer of Champions 4 right around the corner, Matt Topolsky, you got to believe that everyone who's competing here tonight is looking to be on that card and trying to make an impression for Booker T.
Taylor Ransom stalking Jonathan Holt in the corner. He is just a heavy hitter. Leapfrog over the top. Jonathan Holt
did knock the big man down, though.
He's trying to shift gears here. Oh, and that one did. Now Jonathan Holt had a steam cannonball into the corner. Holy cow. Lateral press, Jonathan Holt. Kick out at 2. This young man can move.
Very impressive. Very impressive, Jonathan Holt, in his only second match here in Reality of Wrestling, going high up top. High-risk maneuver.
Oh, went for that moonsault, but he landed on his feet. Incredible agility from Jonathan Holt. Oh!
Knocked his mouthpiece out, Matt Topolsky.
That is a good old-fashioned Texas lariat cover here. Barely kicks out.
Kicked out the very last opportunity to do so. Did Action Jackson Jonathan Holt.
I do have one question. Is that haterade covered under the Reality of Wrestling wellness policy?
You know, that's a great question. We should have somebody look into that right now. But,
I mean, does it give him some sort of advantage in there?
It might be a performance enhancement.
Springboard up top into a corkscrew reverse neck breaker. You've got to be kidding me. Jonathan Holt victorious.
Here is your winner, Action Jackson, Jonathan Holt.
We are going to have to see that again. My goodness, let's take a look at the replay. Out of nowhere, a double springboard corkscrew neck breaker from Action Jackson. Keep sipping that haterade, son. Jonathan Holt victorious this week on the road.
Wow.
Watch this. Come on.
How good for you? How good for me? How about it go? All the way to the stuff. Get some. I'll give me some. Hoorah. 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 Oh, yeah. Frag out. 1,000, 1,000.
Pin's still in, and
The hell is your problem, man?
it's a dummy grenade. See what I mean? Yeah, focus. You are too busy acting on emotion. That ain't alpha. Look here, Sergeant Payne. There's a war going on inside the ring and outside the ring. There's a bunch of betas running around at the top acting like they run something. And the only two alphas on the roster are fighting, playing Pokemon games. Look, I watched you get pinned. You watch me get pinned. It ends right there. It's time to regulate in the tag team division, and it's time to save the reality of wrestling.
All right, sir.
Rob Barnes, a huge main event tonight, if not a bit sadistic here. A street fight between you and Brian Keith, seemingly putting your feud to bed, maybe quite literally, with what you guys might be bringing out in that match. Some people are claiming USA versus Australia. I mean, Rob, what are your thoughts here preparing for tonight's hellacious main event?
Hold on. First of all, USA versus Australia. Where is this coming from? Why is this being perpetuated? You have Matt Topolsky out there on commentary saying, I hate America. You're saying it's USA versus Australia. When did I say I hate America? When did I say that? I never said that. Am I critical of America? Sure. Who wouldn't be critical of America? Every country has its criticisms. But you want to say USA versus Australia? Fine. Brian Keith is the perfect representative for America. I am the perfect representative for Australia because in Australia, we welcome our critiques. We accept our weaknesses. And we work on them until they are our strengths. Brian Keith, he just wants to whine and complain about what I've said and what I've done. But tonight, in this street fight, he better stop focusing on what I've said. He better stop focusing on what I've done. And he better focus on what I'm going to do to him. Focus smart, wrestle smart.
I brought you guys into my office today to talk about a little something. Reality of wrestling, guys, is getting hot. We're getting close to Reality of Wrestling Summer of Champions 4. It's gonna be good. So ladies, this is what I want to talk about. You know, here in Reality of Wrestling, it's about going out there and proving yourselves. It's about going out there and taking what you want. Can't wait on anybody here in Reality of Wrestling. But it's all about being a team as well. It's about going out there and figuring out how we can make this thing work. And that's where you come in, ladies. I know each and every one of you want to be the top diamond. But right now, Kayla, that can only be one. And that's you. But I know everybody is reaching for that brass ring. They want to go. So tonight, we're going to talk about a little something. Next week, I put together a little something special. A tag match where you can go out there and prove yourself. Show me how much you want it. Oh, it's going to be good. I say this tag match is going to be epic. The teams are Hai Young and Ivory versus Kayla and Kylie. You guys are going to have to work together as a team. You guys are going to have to go out there and show me how much you want it. Somebody's going to come up. We're getting closer and closer to the Summer of Champions, guys. This could be your lottery ticket. Put yourself in the game. Next week. How about it? You like that? It's going to be good. Some people say it's going to be perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, allow me to introduce you to the Row's most infamous. My name is Brock Baker. Custom made, custom paid, and custom fitted. I've got the skills that pay the bills, and trust me, I'm debt free. Ain't nobody in the world could be so fresh, bald, and bougie. Pay up! And this right here.
My name is Van Harrison. The time for talking is over. Pay up!
Well, Brock Baker and Van Harrison have proved recently here in the Reality of Wrestling that is a force to be reckoned with. What a unique tag team Brock Baker has put together.
Their opponents, Jasper the Hammer Davis, Sergeant Cedric Payne, the Alpha Unit.
Major questions in recent weeks regarding the Alpha Unit. Are they on the same page? Are they on the same wavelength? Can they get back to winning ways? Can they get those tag team titles back around their waist? This is a major test for both sides and the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Division this week on the road. It's the Alpha Unit versus Brock Baker and Van Harrison. And as you so often talk about when referencing the Hammer, Jasper Davis, you talk about that heavy artillery, Brad Gilmore. There's a heck of a lot of it in that squared circle tonight.
Yeah, you know, I gotta agree with you right there, Matt Topolsky. I mean, Van Harrison is a dominating competitor. And Jasper the Hammer Davis, both Jasper Hammer Davis and Cedric Payne, definitely they're veterans, and they have the veteran instincts, and they have power behind those punches. Did Brock Baker say that he was bad and bougie in his promo? His interview, his introduction to the audience?
I think so. Do you disagree with that sentiment?
Well, I just have one question for you, Matt Topolsky. Oh, do it look like I was left off bad and bougie? Oh, wow. Cedric Payne.
Here we go.
Hammer.
Cover 1, 2.
Hey, let's not bury the lead right here. Great tag team action right there by the Alpha Unit, working together.
And that's been the question, is can they do that? Can they get back on the same page? We saw a few months back the Hammer a little disappointed in Cedric Payne, to say the least. Then a few weeks ago, Cedric Payne a little disappointed in the Hammer. Some cracks, some splinters in the foundation perhaps, but tonight they look like they're working together as a cohesive unit. Cover here, kick out at 2.
Another tandem move there by the former champs, the Alpha Unit. Oh.
It's just a massive mountain of humanity. Just a natural athlete. Oh! Cover here, 1, 2. And may I add, an oversized natural athlete.
Yeah, you know, we talk about him all the time. This guy, scouted by Booker T. He was a free agent, signed to a contract here in Reality of Wrestling. And then he and Brock Baker, let's not forget, they were opponents one time. And then Brock Baker said, hey, I could probably do a lot of talking and make a lot of money if I team up with Van Harrison.
Neck breaker there from Brock Baker. Cover, 1, 2. Cedric Payne kicks out. We've already seen Jonathan Holt with a big victory here tonight, and of course Rob Barnes and Brian Keith still to come in a street fight. We are on the road to Summer of Champions 4. And you can tell there's a different energy in the building here tonight, Brad Gilmore. The World Gym Arena is hyped.
Hey, they're definitely hyped and they're ready. They're seeing all the action that's going to be leading up to our biggest event of the year, the Summer of Champions 4.
Big tag, here comes the Hammer.
Who can forget awesome Summer of Champions matches in the past? Appearances from Diamond Dallas Page, Carlito, Hardcore Holly, Devon Dudley.
And even the current WWE champion.
That is correct. Raj Singh.
Oh, drops the Hammer, cover. And Brock Baker breaks it up before the official even has an opportunity to make the count. Don't go anywhere, Row Nation. This matchup will continue in a moment.
Give credit where credit's due. Van Harrison and Brock Baker are very, very good together.
Well, I have to agree with that 100%. You know, when we first saw this on paper, it was like oil and water.
Yeah.
You just don't think there's any way that this would work, but it seems to be working. Brock Baker, the mouthpiece, if you will, and Van Harrison, the enforcer, but a belly-to-belly suplex there from the Hammer. A lot at stake here. Baker and Harrison want to move up the tag team division. Alpha Unit would love a crack at those tag team titles again. Only one team can be successful, and we're running out of time on the road to Summer of Champions.
Uh-oh.
Big tag
to Harrison. Tag to Cedric Payne. Cedric Payne like a torpedo, a heat-seeking missile. Cedric Payne. Uh-oh. He's looking for that suplex. Suplex. Oh! Suplex by by Cedric Payne.
Launches Brock Baker, but turn around, Van Harrison is there.
Van Harrison. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Samoan drop! Samoan drop cover! Alpha Unit's gonna do it, kick out. Excuse me, broken up in the last minute by Brock Baker. Absolute chaos in the ring. Now the Alpha Unit going to work. All four competitors are brawling. You can feel the electricity.
It's a fight here on the World Gym Arena. Wait a minute. Van Harrison.
Oh no.
Go for that power slam.
It may be time for Cedric Payne to pay up. Cover 1, 2, 3. Harrison and Baker get the win.
Here are your winners, Brock Baker and Van Harrison.
Well, it looks like Jasper the Hammer Davis was lackadaisical.
Well, hold on
to get back in.
Now hold on just a second. He was ejected from the ring, did everything he could to get back on his feet.
Look at him. He hadn't even got back on his feet yet. Now he does. Slow to help his partner Cedric Payne when we thought they were working so good as a tag team.
Well, he was unceremoniously dumped out of the ring. There's not a whole lot Jasper Davis can do about that, but up until that point, the Alpha Unit was working very well together.
I think he could have done a little bit more to try to help his partner. Cedric Payne finally getting to his feet. Oh!
Unit absolutely exploding here. Shocking scenes, disappointing scenes, if you will, as Cedric Payne and Jasper Davis go face to face. More reality of wrestling in a moment. I'm Matt Topolsky, and he's Brad Gilmore for the Reality of Wrestling, and we invite all of our fans at home to check out Pro Wrestling Tees, where you can get some of the best Reality of Wrestling gear, Brad.
Hey, the official Pro merchandise available at ProWrestlingTees.com/RealityWrestling and RealityOfWrestling.com. Get laced up, get your tees today.
Do we have to do this with him behind me again?
Yeah, we do. Just go. Go on, baby.
JJ Blake, the reigning, defending television champion here.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you the last time? And the time before that? What did I tell you, Russo? Oh, so you can't figure this out? You can't figure this. You can't figure this out. Okay, repeat after me. My name is Chris Russo.
My name is Chris Russo.
I'm the biggest dummy on the planet.
I'm the biggest dummy on the planet.
And I'm standing here tonight. With the champion of all television.
With the champion of all televisions.
In the entire world.
In the entire world.
Now you may begin.
JJ Blake, next week we have just found out that you will be competing one-on-one against a newcomer here to the Reality of Wrestling by the name of Axton Lowe. His name is all around the wrestling community, has a chance to step in the ring against you here, potentially an opportunity to walk out as the new television champion here.
Whoa. This is a non-title bout. This is not for the championship of the television. It's not for that. But I will say this, Axton Lowe is a great competitor. I've heard about him. He's been all over the world. He might be going to China one day. This guy is amazing. All over the world. He is a world-renowned athlete. Tore up WrestleCade. And that's who Booker decided to bring in because he couldn't have none of these fools take the championship off me. So he's going to try to get me shook and stuff. I'm telling them idiots right there, you the idiot right in front of me, he ain't going to win, he ain't going to do it, he ain't going to beat me. I'm the championship of all the television, and it's going to stay like that. You got that, Russo? And the next time I'm here, don't mess it up.
What are you guys doing? I've been looking all over for you guys.
Check it out. No. I'm singing.
Yeah, just hear us out real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick.
It's nice, huh?
Look, man, forget that. We got important business. This signing next week, Booker's been avoiding me. He hasn't been answering my calls. He hasn't been returning my calls.
Look, man, calm down. You're the reality of wrestling champion. You got this.
Campeón. Yeah, but if I want to stay champion, I have to figure out what Booker T is up to.
Look, whatever he has, La Familia will take care of it.
Yeah, well, we better get a plan together, guys. Play with that some other time. I don't like this at all. Come on.
Thank you, man.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Come on.
Ryan Davidson, the animosity between you, Abel Andrew Jackson, Stevie Ray. Ryan, where does this end? When, how does this end?
I can tell you exactly how it's going to end. I can tell you exactly how it's going to end. The way that Stevie and Abel have been running their mouth over and over and over again, week after week, and what they did to me, after all I've done for them, I can tell you exactly how it's going to end. And that's going to end with me beating Stevie Ray one way or another right there in the middle of that ring. See, you've been dodging and ducking me for a long time, Stevie. You got to face the inevitable, man. You don't cross Ryan Davidson, and you're going to get what's coming to you. Now, I don't know what you have planned. I don't know what's going to happen, but the thing is that I am prepared to go through anything, and I mean anything, to get to you, Stevie. So think of any kind of loophole or something that you could dodge in to kind of scurry your way again out of this one, but why don't you just be a man, sign on the dotted line, and let me put you out for good.
Doggy! Finally, after weeks of anticipation, Brian Keith is back in the reality of wrestling. I've had weeks to think about what to do with you. Started off between me and you, talking down on my home state. And I was the man to step up. Then things heated up. It got a little personal between me and you. Dropped you backstage, and you just couldn't handle it. Had to take me out. Pushed me shoulder first into a locker. So week after week, I had to sit at home with my kids and watch your low blow parade. But you know what? You had the audacity to say that you did me a favor by letting me stay at home with my kids. Rob Barnes, if it's one thing you do in Texas, you don't talk bad about a person's kids and you don't play with their money. You're doing both, Rob Barnes. It's a street fight, Rob Barnes. And I wouldn't expect you to know anything about fighting in the streets. But tonight, you're gonna learn. Courtesy of the quickest kicks in the South.
Tonight's episode of The Row is brought to you by Walker Texas Lawyer at WalkerTexasLawyer.com. Hilton Furniture, let them have it. Quality Blinds, go to QualityBlindsLLC.com for free shipping anywhere in the USA. And the king of solar screens, home of the $50 any size solar screen. Welcome back to the reality of wrestling. I'm Matt Topolsky alongside Brad Gilmore for The Row. And Brad, we've already seen a lot happen here tonight. And of course, we have seen, unfortunately, the end of the Alpha Unit.
Well, the Alpha Unit's no more. I mean, not really a shocker. They've had some controversy going on between them in their last few matches. So, hey, it's the way the game goes, Matt Topolsky.
Absolutely. And coming up next week here on the Reality of Wrestling, in our main event, Booker T has put together something very interesting for the Diamonds division. High, Young, and Ivory will team up to take on Kylie Ray and Kayla Lynn. These four, quite frankly, hate each other.
Hey, there's no love lost there, Matt Topolsky. I think we're not going on a limb saying that. But you know I love the Diamonds division, and it's been heating up on the way to Summer of Champions 4.
But coming up next in our main event, Rob Barnes takes on the Lone Ranger of the Row in a street fight. That main event is next.
Introducing first, from Sydney, Australia, weighing 9
at the Reality of Wrestling after the brutal beatdown he took from Rob Barnes in the locker room. And Rob Barnes has been low-blowing one competitor after another here at the Reality of Wrestling. This new attitude that Rob Barnes has, quite frankly, it's disgusting. And I'll tell you what, there is a seething bounty hunter somewhere in the World Gym Arena, and he is about to get his hands on Rob Barnes in this street fight.
Hey, you know what? I mean, Rob Barnes has done a lot of talking. He's done a lot of, he jumped Brian Keith from behind, we saw in the locker room. So I think that it's going to be all systems go here tonight for the bounty hunter.
And his opponent from Greens Point, Texas, weighing in at 210 pounds, Brian Keith.
It has been some time since we've seen the bounty hunter, but the Lone Ranger of the Row is back, and a thunderous ovation from the Row Nation for Brian Keith.
Brian Keith, was placed on the injured reserves, if you will. Now that he's been medically cleared, he is back, and he's back for some revenge on Rob Barnes. And this is a street fight, Matt Topolsky. That means pinfalls count anywhere. No rules, anything goes.
There is no one in this building right now who is looking more forward to this fight. And trust me when I say this, it will be a fight, not a wrestling match, than Brian Keith. The bad blood has been boiling over between these two. And here we go! Brian Keith not gonna waste any time. If you came here for wrist locks, you came to the wrong place, because this is going to be a good old-fashioned street fight. And as you pointed out, Brad, pinfalls count anywhere.
He's trying to lock in a triangle chokehold. An MMA-type maneuver by Rob Barnes. And then Brian Keith with those hammer fists to the side. Left side of the head. And left ribs. And a kick right to the abdomen.
And we have to remember this, that Rob Barnes also has a history of neck and head injuries as well. And the fastest kicks in the South will be a very dangerous element in this matchup for Rob Barnes, but also Brian Keith freshly coming back off of injury. We don't know if he's at 100%. The only thing we do know, Brad, is he's medically cleared.
He's medically cleared, but like you said, I mean, there's no way he could be at 100%, and he just got cleared just a few days prior to this match. So.
Kick to the face, hooks the leg, lateral press kick out at 2.
He's 75% at best, you would have to think, especially after those vicious attacks by Rob Barnes.
Absolutely, one would definitely have to agree. And we're gonna have to look out here. These two could go anywhere. Classic double axe handle right there off the ring apron from Brian Keith. And a knife edge chop rings out across the World Gym Arena.
They could feel that one all the way back in Australia. Oh! That one too. To Aussie landed back again.
Oh! You know, for a moment there, we were unsure if we would ever see Brian Keith in action again after that attack, that sneak attack from Rob Barnes.
Oh! You gotta watch out right here. Our Road Nation needs to be super careful. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Brian Keith hit first!
Sent him into the post just like he threw him into the lockers backstage a few weeks ago. Brian Keith might be hurt, Matt Topolsky.
Well, the velocity at which Brian Keith went head first into that post, he may have cracked his skull.
He may have a concussion. I mean, he's got that look in his eyes, like he's not exactly sure where he is. Wait a minute, being able to counter that, and now he's firing back.
Pure adrenaline from Brian Keith. Pure adrenaline. And he literally kicks Rob Barnes back into the ring.
Oh! The Aussie had him right there as Brian was trying to get back in the ring.
One of the great things about Reality of Wrestling is it is the flagship of Texas wrestling, and this is how you settle a feud in Texas, with a good old-fashioned street fight between two people that quite frankly can't stand the sight of each other. Barnes looking for a suplex here. Snap suplex got all of it. a leg, just a 1 count. Brian Keith not going down that easily.
Oh man, a kick to the knee, a vicious kick to the knee. Something you don't really see a lot, but it makes sense. If you want to kick the knee of Brian Keith, it'd be hard to extend his leg to get those kicks.
Neither
velocity of the kicks.
Let me tell you something. Neither one of these two competitors are going to try and win this fight tonight on style points. This is entirely about brutalizing the other person, and you're seeing it right now. This is your main event on Reality of Wrestling. Pinfalls count anywhere. Brian Keith heading up top. Rob Barnes responds.
Scooping a slam right there.
Cover, 2, and a kick out. One thing we haven't talked about, we've talked about Brian Keith's injury, but this is certainly not the best style of match for him to come back in, where there are no rules, where pinfalls count anywhere, where you can use a foreign object, you can use a chair if you want to. It could be a career ender for Brian Keith.
Yeah, like I said, and there's no way he's 70, there's no way he's 100%, he's 75 at best. But Brian Keith, when you get out here in front of the crowd under the bright lights, the adrenaline kicks in, and you're not thinking about that, Matt Topolsky. You're thinking about one thing. You're thinking about winning, and you're thinking about getting revenge.
Brian Keith going up top. Brian Keith looks like he's about ready to fly. A flying bounty hunter here at the World Gym Arena. A high crossbody.
He's going for a pin right here.
Cover, 1, 2.
Oh, and a kick out after this.
Don't go anywhere because the Reality of Wrestling rolls on after this break.
Brian Keith having to shake some cobwebs out.
Oh.
Uh-oh. He's got a look in his eye, Matt Topolsky.
Well, Brian Keith is a wearer of many hats, and he just traded in his cowboy hat for a trash can. It's time to take out the trash.
Uh-oh. Hey, it landed right on Rob Barnes there. Brian Keith going in. No rules in this match, so a trash can is perfectly legal. And now they're fighting over it.
Oh! Smart move there, shoulder block to the midsection by Rob Barnes. Oh! And folds Brian Keith in half.
Brian Keith landed on the back.
Cover here, 2!
That might be it. Wow, Brian Keith clutched the back of his neck after that maneuver by Rob Barnes, and it looked very, very concerning. He's still clutching it right now as we see.
Well, his head and neck was injured in that attack backstage.
He's trying to get that crank out. You can tell he's definitely moving a little bit slower after that maneuver by Rob Barnes.
Head first, head first.
Whoa.
The bounty hunter puts on the brakes. Ducks underneath. Brian Keith with those forearms. Oh! Lays out Rob Barnes into a cover. Kick out at 2. These two have got to be exhausted. This has been a war.
Brian Keith signaling to the crowd that it's time to cowboy up. Uh-oh. You know what he's calling for him here, Matt Topolsky? He's going to try to end it with an old-fashioned rodeo DDT. Wait a minute. Boomerang bomb!
Oh, boomerang bomb! Vintage Rob Barnes cover! 2 to win the feud, but a kick out at the last second. A 1/10 of a second left to a 99%.
I could have swore that was going to be a 3 count. Brian Keith might be muscle memory right there, just kicking out. The USA chants echoing here in the World Gym Arena, the Booker T World Gym Arena.
Oh, and look at that. Rob Barnes is using the tag rope to tie up Brian Keith.
Completely legal. Completely legal here, Matt Topolsky. Anything goes. Very, very smart maneuver. Smart maneuver, smart strategy there by Rob Barnes, tying Brian Keith up in that tag rope.
Rob Barnes now mocking Brian Keith. rocking the Row Nation. Oh! And that's why they call him the fastest kicks in the South. Just like that, lights out. Brian Keith looking for a second win.
Wow. Brian Keith unloading the revolver like style of kicks.
Well, for a moment there, he may have only had one loose arm, but he has two very capable legs.
He's trying to untie himself, and he's able to get it. He unties himself from that turnbuckle there. Maybe he should fight the whole match over there. He did pretty good when he was tied up.
When Brian Keith sees an opportunity, it is all legal. It is 100% legal. And Brian Keith says it's payback time.
Brian Keith gonna go for a rodeo.
Oh!
And that
low blow again from Rob Barnes.
That low blow. Rob Barnes real proud of himself. Look at him, Matt Topolsky. Rob Barnes.
Oh, wait a second.
Wait.
Oh, wait just a minute.
He had a cup on, Matt Topolsky.
He had an insurance policy.
He was ready for it.
Brian Keith. Rodeo.
Oh.
Bingo. He got all of it. Cover. 1, 2. The bounty hunter is back.
Here is your winner, Brian Keith.
Brian Keith played the long game and thought ahead, Matt Topolsky. He was ready for Rob Barnes to go for that low blow, and he was able to capitalize with the rodeo DDT right on that trash can.
A war of attrition between Rob Barnes and the Lone Ranger of the Row. But in the end, Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, sought justice and collected another bounty. And the road to Summer of Champions 4 is getting very, very hot. We'll see you next week on The Reality of Wrestling for more on the front row of sports entertainment.